Yeah, hi friends. Here we are with question number 2 on your last exam, which held on 6th of August 2020. And we'll be discussing question number 2. As promised in my earlier video, that we'll be completing all of these questions which were given in last exam. So let's start with question number 2. So, as instructed in the scenario, you are instructed to write a report to management by email in which you need to tell them some of the unsafe behaviors you have observed during your visit, during your tenure with the company, and even some of the unsafe behaviors were reported to you informally by the workers or the managers in the area. So, you have to write a formal report to the management in which you need to advise management on all of these unsafe behaviors going on in the area, and these behaviors are very critical, and some of the actions are urgently needed by management to control the situation. So our question is, what unsafe behaviors would you include in the report? This question is 6 marks question, and we'll be looking at some of the unsafe behaviors we have noticed. So let's look at the answer part of this question. Guys, since there are two parts of this question, the first part is question 2A, and we are answering this question. So if we look at the scenario, there are certain indications given in the scenario which are very clear, and the first indication in the scenario was rule breaking is very common in the warehouse. So, rule breaking in health and safety is basically a non-compliance to health and safety regulation, where people start breaking the rules. For sure, they will be ending up on disasters and incidents and accidents. So, this is a habitual type of a thing in the organization. It means nobody cares, and these unsafe behaviors of breaking rules are very common within the organization, and these must be controlled immediately. Otherwise, the near misses will convert into accidents, as it happened already. There was an accident and there was a broken leg case. So if these things keep on repeating, then for sure the situation will go worse and worse. This is first unsafe behavior recognized. Then looking at the accident itself, distracted driving by forklift operator was one of the unsafe behavior. Forklift operator was distracted while using his mobile phone during operation of forklift. This is an unsafe behavior, and due to distracted driving, the driver or operator failed to apply the brake on time, which further led to the accident. So these are some of the unsafe behaviors by forklift operator. One of the unsafe behavior by management was incompetent forklift operator was used for hazardous job. Since it is clearly mentioned in the scenario that the forklift operator is a young guy and he is not at all competent, lack of experience, lack of maturity, uh, poor attitudes toward health and safety, poor perception of risk in the area, all of these things should be very well evaluated by the management before hiring people on such critical jobs. So this was another unsafe behavior by management to assign such people on the critical jobs who may further end up on disasters. Looking at some of the other unsafe acts in the area, one of the unsafe act was workers walking in the forklift routes, and workers are using forklift routes as pedestrian route, and it's a common practice within the organization that nobody cares. Materials were improperly stacked, aisles were also obstructed, and rather somebody take an initiative to correct all of these things. Workers are simply jumping on top of materials, and they were just using forklift route as a pedestrian route. Nobody provided proper health and health housekeeping. Nobody is concerned about the obstructions in the area. So these are some of the unsafe behaviors by workers in the area. Poor reporting and investigation and recording of accidents is another common practice within the organization, which is an unsafe behavior. If there is something wrong, if there is a near miss, if there are certain issues going on, it must be brought to the management notice, and management should take further actions to correct all of these situations. So these are unsafe behaviors. And one of the unsafe behavior is that they are using storage area, they are using store area for restacking of materials. Store area is not to be used for restacking of materials, but at night time when store is closed, usually they are using that area also to restack the materials. This is another unsafe behavior. Guys, moving on to part B of the question, which was your voluntary feedback to the management on unsafe acts and unsafe behaviors. I have highlighted four different behaviors I have seen in the scenario. So, poor management commitment, for sure, this is one of the management behavior where they are not committed at all to any health and safety rules and regulations. And first of all, management is rarely seen in the area. Nobody from management is visiting the area. Nobody is concerned about health and safety precautions taken in the area. Nobody is concerned with the corrective actions taken in the area. So this is poor management commitment. Uh, Also, management is showing an attitude towards health and safety which is very poor, where they are saying that there is no money available for health and safety, no budgets for health and safety, and they consider health and safety as a cost to the business or disruption to the business, which is a very weak attitude towards health and safety. So, management commitment is totally missing in this scenario. Moving on to the second point, I highlighted missing workers' consultation arrangements. Workers are not consulted on health and safety matters by management, and it is clearly mentioned in the scenario that workers have complained many times to management, but no actions were taken by management. Even there is no formal health and safety consultation arrangement, no safety meetings, nothing in place, which is another poor behavior by management. No assignment of health and safety representatives in the warehouse area. This is another poor commitment by management. I would say it's a poor behavior by management that none of the safety representative was assigned in the area to oversee all the health and safety rules and regulations are being followed by people or not, to look at some of the critical issues. Health and safety representative should have been assigned in the area, which is missing in this case. And finally, there is no proper health and safety management system in place. So this is another weakness by management, that they are not providing any resource, they are not providing any formal health and safety management system to be implemented. There are 100 stores, and out of those 100 stores in this area there are 10 stores. So there must be a formal health and safety management system arrangement where each and everything should be in line with that management system. So guys, these are some of the voluntary feedbacks I have provided here. So hope that we have covered almost everything in the scenario in highlighting unsafe behaviors by workers as well as management in the area, and hope we satisfy the requirement of the questions. So friends, I hope the information was useful and you know how to solve such questions now. In this question, it was clearly mentioned that you have to only stick to the scenario based information. So we tried to cover up almost all the unsafe behaviors mentioned in the scenario. I'll be seeing you very soon in my other video where we'll be discussing question number 3. Stay blessed, stay safe, stay connected. Thank you very much.